Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of Facebook, is going to testify in a mass tort case in California soon. What am I talking about? Today was the first day of a trial against Facebook and other social media platforms. And Mark Zuckerberg is one of the witnesses who's going to testify. This lawsuit has been around for a while, and the case that we brought has claims that the algorithms behind these platforms were intentionally made to cause children and kids to become addicted, so they'd use the platform more. And the children, many of the children, some of the children, were injured to the point where they would have bad thoughts, where they would think about hurting themselves. We have cases where children did hurt themselves and where they had to seek mental health professionals to help them with these issues. And that's what's going on. The defendants in the case are the big platforms. So it's Meta, which is Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, and TikTok. So what's happened is last week, a week before the trial started, Snapchat did reach a settlement with the plaintiffs, and it's confidential, but they are no longer involved in this trial. And then the day before the trial was to start, TikTok settled out, and they're no longer part of the trial. So it's just Meta, which is Facebook, and YouTube as the remaining defendants. And this case is going to start soon. The beginning stages are for jury selection, which can take several days. And then the testimony will begin, and Mark Zuckerberg is one of the witnesses who is scheduled to testify. So just because this case is going to trial does not mean that we're not taking new cases. In fact, it's quite the opposite. When a case gets this kind of exposure, that's when most people know whether or not their child or some other child that they know has been a victim of this kind of mental health issue. And now that the trial has started and it's being widely covered by all the news outlets on TV, online, on newspapers, it's everywhere. So people will now have more awareness that this is a thing. It is not too late to become part of the mass tort. So again, the qualifications, if you have a child or know of a child that has these qualifications, then they may be able to join this mass tort and get compensation for their injuries. The qualifications would be that they use the platform between ages 8 to 18, that they're currently under 26 years old, that they use the platform more than 3 hours per day during the time in question, and that ultimately they sought professional help for their mental health issues. So those are the qualifications. And if you know of somebody who does qualify, who did suffer these kinds of things, there's still time to join this mass tort and to get compensated. Also, joining us today, cat of the video, is Mama. Mama is a mother of the 4 cats that we took in years ago. And she didn't want to come in, but that's okay. She's still outside. We see her every day. We feed her every day. And she started this whole thing. If not for her, I wouldn't have any of these cats or any of these pictures. So that's the update on the social media addiction cases. We're going to have more updates because the trial's just starting. So Mark Zuckerberg, if he testifies, we'll certainly have something to say about that. But we'll follow this up with another video on this topic very soon.